Oak Ridge will send Johnny Williams, Edward Dunbar, and Toby Tillman back to receive the kick. Oak Ridge is already out on the field. The kick unit for the Cleveland Blue Raiders still talking with their head coach, Benny Monroe, the head coach at Cleveland High School. Last year, Oak Ridge was defeated at Cleveland by the Blue Raiders. The final score, 21-20 in overtime. A valiant comeback by the Wildcats in the second half of play. Just an outstanding ball game to watch last year.
It was, David, and what impressed me more than anything, besides obviously the play on the field, was the fan support. And tonight the crowd is coming in. It's a good crowd. People still coming in the ball game, but it's not full. Obviously, it's not. There's still plenty of room out here, and for those of you that can make it to the ball game, we encourage you to please do. And nothing wrong with bringing your radios. We'll be right here on 1290 and channel cable, channel 27.
To kick off for Cleveland Blue Raiders will be number 42, Chris Parks. That's a name we're going to be talking about later on. He's a speedster. He did it against Oak Ridge last season.
Well, he kicks off, David. He kicks the extra points. He beat Oak Ridge with an extra point last year, and he scored a couple times as well. So he just does everything, and he's the type of kid that last year as a sophomore, fatigue didn't seem to be a factor, so I really don't think it'll be a factor this year at all.
Andy Hickey doing our statistical work again tonight. Back at the station, we've got Tom Underwood. They're still ticking the clock down to 12 minutes, so the Wildcats out on the field about an extra little bit. Jerry Colquitt warming up to come in at quarterback for Oak Ridge. We see him down below warming up with Bernard Douglas, a stress fracture in his left foot, and we've talked about that all during the pregame.
Well, David, I talked to Coach Gaddis before the ball game, and he did say that Jerry felt better with the new orthopedic attachment that he has in his shoe, and the model that was made specifically for him did alleviate more pressure than did the one that he had previously. Now, that's not a quote from Coach Gaddis, but reading into it, he did say that Jerry felt better, so one has to assume that this apparatus is more form-fitted to his foot and will relieve the tension, but it's definitely how much stress he can endure.
And there seems to be a problem with the clock, and they let it tick down all the way past 12 minutes, down to about 11:57, so hopefully we won't have a problem with the clock.
Well, all they need to do is just start it a little bit late on the kick. There's no sense taking more time, to get this situation worked out. And they'll explain that to the Cleveland coaches, and they'll wait 3 seconds, and then they'll go ahead and start the game clock out there on the field.
And once again, Parks will attempt it. Now they've got it clicked up to about 13 minutes on the clock, so I guess we're going to let it tick down another minute. So a little delay getting this ball game underway. The Oak Ridge cheerleaders and the Oak Ridge team getting excited on the sidelines.
I think they're just going to keep the time on the clock on the field for the time being.
And Johnny Williams back to receive the kick for Oak Ridge. And here's the kickoff by Parks. It's high, driving, one of the longest kicks I've ever seen. It almost goes in between the goalposts. It'll be Oak Ridge taking over. First down, 10 yards to go at the 20-yard line.
And coming out for the Wildcats, David, your standard offensive unit for the Cats. Reggie Mormon back in there at center for Oak Ridge. 54 in there as well, Andy Mingy, and Bernard Douglas, Quayu Graham, and the quarterback, Jerry Colquitt. The tailback, John Elam, he'll be in there as well. And Brad Dew in there at one of the guards, one of the tackles, and Sean Vickery in there also for Oak Ridge.
And the Wildcats will have the ball. First down, 10 yards to go. Quayu Graham, senior, wide to the left side. Bernard Douglas, senior, wide to the right. And now the referees once again halt play, and they're talking things over. Oak Ridge will have John Elam, the tailback, Cooper, the fullback, and Oak Ridge goes back to the huddle.
I think what they're going to do now is run the clock perhaps down to 12. I'm not sure, David. It really shouldn't be any time off the clock since the ball sailed in the end zone, so we'll just have to get an explanation later on in the ball game.
Oak Ridge comes up first and 10 from the 20-I formation for the Wildcats. Colquitt at quarterback. Pitch out, right side. Johnny Elam gets a wall, gets a grip to the 25. Still spins to about the 28-yard line. Excellent second effort by John Elam.
Well, David, I don't think anybody except John Elam realizes how close he came to taking that one for a big gain as they spread Cleveland out a little bit, and they got up inside of him. The outside man didn't come up quick enough to push him inside, and he did, as you pointed out, had a great second effort on that play. Oak Ridge moving the ball well on first down, something that the coaches felt they had to do to try to control the offensive side and keep the Cleveland defense on the field.
Gain of about 9 on the play. Second down, 1 yard to go. Jerry Colquitt hands it off to the right side, up the middle to Stan Cooper, I believe, and he's got an Oak Ridge first down across the 30-yard line up to about the 33. First and 10, Oak Ridge.
They will tell people quickly that indeed the time is being kept on the field and we have no idea how much time is remaining. We assume it's around 11 and a half, 10 minutes to go. The problem with this type of situation, we've run into it before, David, the ball game seems to go quite a bit quicker when the officials keep the clock on the field.
First and 10, Oak Ridge. I formation, Joe White in a slot on the right side. Handoff goes to Elam once again. He gets the ball across the 35-yard line up to about the 36. Gain of about 3 on the play. Second down, 7 yards to go for Oak Ridge.
Being very careful, David, with the quarterback Colquitt. He's really not asked to do a whole lot in this first series so far. He's just turning and pitching, and it's a quick pitch, which allows him to avoid any kind of rush or penetration from the defense, so he's not getting any early licks.
Up to the line of scrimmage, which is the 36, will come Oak Ridge. I formation once again. White in a slot on the left side, flanker to the left. Handoff goes once again to Stan Cooper. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and is pushed back on the initial lick by, let's see, number 12 for Cleveland. That'll be Rod Davis. It'll be third down and about 8 yards to go for Oak Ridge. And we have no score. In fact, looking down at the scoreboard, just about everything is not working. They just now get the yard markers and the downs and the yards to go working on the scoreboard. As Oak Ridge comes up with Fairs off to the left side, Quayu Graham wide right, third down, about 7 yards to go. I formation once again from the 36-yard line. Junior Jerry Colquitt will drop back straight to pass. Looks down the middle of the field, has a man. The pass goes intercepted by Cleveland at the 45-yard line. Intended for Fairs at that point, but I believe picking the pass off for the Blue Raiders was Marty Lowe, and Cleveland takes over. First down, 10 yards to go.
Well, David, Colquitt hit his man dead, the numbers, and I watched specifically how he planted his front foot, and he planted it very forcefully and followed through well. He may have even put a little too much on the ball, but at any rate, definitely a catchable ball. It hit Fairs right in the numbers, and it's a tough break early against Oak Ridge and for Cleveland. We'll see that wing tee offense immediately.
We're the quarterback for Cleveland. First down, 10 yards to go as Oak Ridge lines up on defense, kind of a Dallas-type flex, and a flag goes down on the play. And let's see, the referee's talking to these over. It's going to be a 5-yard step off against the Blue Raiders from Cleveland, Tennessee.
Looked like, David, they may have been calling multiple motion. Looked like they had too many people in motion at one time. At any rate, procedure penalty will go against Cleveland. And obviously they're showing something that we didn't expect already, is shifting the lineman, interior lineman, out to the outside. So that's something that I really didn't see much of last year, and it's a new wrinkle they're throwing in early here in this ballgame.
So it'll be first down, 15 yards to go. The ball just inside Cleveland territory, right at the 49. Up the line of scrimmage will come the Blue Raiders. To the right side will go Brad Green. They come up a weird quarterback, Parks in the backfield, and it'll be first down, 15 yards to go. Handoff goes quickly up the middle. It goes for good yardage. He's breaking it open. Down to the 35, down to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Cleveland on their first offensive play. A 50-yard touchdown run by number 34, Mike Moore, and Cleveland takes the lead 6-0.
Well, they came out in an unbalanced line to the wide side of the field and then ran a quick play back to the weak side, and they got good penetration as far as they got into the linebackers before really Moore had anybody on him, and he showed some great speed, and really Spratling had a chance at him. Quayu had a chance at him, but he basically, David, he outran him to the end zone.
And into an attempt to point after will be number 40, Alex Hudman. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick is no good, I don't believe. No, it's good. It just barely made it over the top of the crossbar. So our score here in the first quarter play, Cleveland leads Oak Ridge by a score of 7-0. Once again, the Blue Raiders will be kicking off to Oak Ridge. Johnny Williams back to receive the kick. Here's the kick. High, long. Once again, it'll be a touchback, so Oak Ridge will once again take over first and 10 at the 20. 2 consecutive kickoffs by Cleveland into the end zone, and Oak Ridge trailing 7-0 for the first time in a long while, as the quarterback will be Jerry Colquitt once again out on the field. Oak Ridge had a first down in their initial drive, and then that drive stalled after an interception. Turnovers haven't really been much of a factor this season. They were a couple of years ago. This year, this turnover just recently has caused Oak Ridge to fall behind 7-0 here in the first quarter. And up the line of scrimmage will come the Wildcats. First and 10 from the 20. Quayu Graham wide left, Bernard Douglas wide right. I formation once again, Oak Ridge. Colquitt looks over the Cleveland defense. First and 10 from the 20. Colquitt will hand it off once again, breaks it open. Now Elam with the ball almost exactly the same run as he had the first drive, gets about 9 yards on the carry, so to bring up second down, 1 yard to go for Oak Ridge.
They're opening some good holes there, and that time had Elam gotten to the point of attack just about a half a second quicker, he had a lot of daylight. But give this Cleveland defense some credit. They are big, but again, I do think obviously they're a little quicker than Hendersonville. Even though Hendersonville was quicker than we thought, they really closed that hole very quick.
Tyrone Irons wide to the right side. Quayu Graham wide left. Movement across the line of scrimmage by Cleveland's number 58, Jason Millard. And I believe it's going to be a 5-yard step off against the Blue Raiders. And if that's the case, it'll be Oak Ridge. First down, 10 yards to go after the 5-yard step off. They'll move the ball to about the 34-yard line. First and 10, Oak Ridge at that point. 7-0 the score. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge here from Blankenship Field, the 5th game of the 1988 season. Next week, Oak Ridge will once again be in district play as they will travel to Halls High School to play the Red Devils. Douglas wide to the left side, Quayu Graham wide to the right. First down, 10 yards to go from the 34-yard line. Cooper and Elam in the backfield behind Colquitt. Caldwell lines up in the tight end on the left side, goes to Elam. He's hit in the backfield, gets away from one man, scrambles up to about the 35-yard line. Good penetration by the defensive line of Cleveland. Elam lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he was, David. It showed great effort on his part, and had he been able to bounce outside, I still believe, though, looking at what Oak Ridge is trying to do right here, they do seem to be a little quicker, especially on offense, than this Cleveland ball club. So they're showing some second effort, and they're getting to the outside. They're just not really getting the turn up field with their shoulders squared. We'll see later on in the ball game if they're able to do that.
A penalty is going to be assessed against the Cleveland Blue Raiders. Will give Oak Ridge another first down. The ball will be spotted the exact same location on the other side of the 50 that Cleveland had the ball. It'll be first and 10 right at the 49-yard line. 7-0 Cleveland as Jerry Colquitt has it. First down, 10 yards to go. The Wildcats break from the huddle. Reggie Mormon the center. Wide to the right side for Oak Ridge will go Tyrone Irons. Wide to the left, Quayu Graham. First and 10, Oak Ridge from the 49-yard line. Colquitt will hand it off the middle to Cooper. He's got about 7-8 yards on the play. Gets the ball inside the Blue Raider territory down to the 42-yard line. It'll be second down and about 3 yards to go. Pickup of 7 for Stan Cooper as Douglas brings the play once again from the sideline. Looking down at Jerry Colquitt, you can hardly even notice a limp. That placement inside his shoe must be doing a good job getting rid of some of that pain.
Well, it's a little early now because he's had so little movement on it. It will tell really in the second half and definitely late in the third quarter.
Second and 4. The handoff goes to Elam. He has the ball to about the 40. Very, very close to a first down. Depending on where they spot it, it might be a yard short. The sticks for a first down would be right at the 40-yard line, and it will be third down and about 1 yard to go, less than a yard to go, as they'll put the ball at about the 41. The referee's taking a long look at it, but from our vantage point, it'll be third down. As Irons comes back into the contest, Bernard Douglas will check out. They will indeed bring the chains onto the field, and they'll be stretched, and it'll be indeed, like Jim Vine signaled, short of a first down. Third down, less than a yard to go for Oak Ridge. The ball in Blue Raider territory at the 41. You can watch the replay of this exciting ball game on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 27 tomorrow at 12 noon. As Oak Ridge has it, third down, less than a yard to go at the 41-yard line. Up to the line of scrimmage will come Oak Ridge. Quayu Graham wide left, Tyrone Irons wide right. High formation Oak Ridge as the referees are now set. And it'll be third down, less than a yard to go for Oak Ridge. Colquitt looks at his backfield. Third down, 1. Handed off for a first down to Stan Cooper. He has the ball inside the 40, down to about the 39-yard line. Good blocking by the interior part, and Stan Cooper has Oak Ridge another first down.
Boy, Dave, this ball game has a lot of similarity so far with the Hendersonville ball game. Oak Ridge not able to stop Hendersonville on their first opportunity offensively. They took it right down and scored on Oak Ridge, and Oak Ridge did exactly what they're doing now, coming back with a sustained drive. That ball game against Hendersonville, they got 3 points. Let's see what they can do here on this drive.
First and 10 from the Cleveland 39-yard line. And handoff once again goes up the middle for about the same amount of yardage for Stan Cooper. A gain of about 2, maybe even 4 yards. He moves the ball inside to about the 34. It'll be a gain of 5. Second down, 5 for Oak Ridge.
Again, David, they're more effective running this inside trap than they were against the Hendersonville ball club. And I picked up early on that Coach Gaddis is substituting 4 wide receivers. Ferris has been in there quite a bit. Tyrone Irons has been there quite a bit, substituting for Douglas and Quayu Graham.
And once again, Irons will go to the right side wide. Graham wide to the left. Second down, 5 yards to go. Handoff goes. Cooper, he breaks it in. It's got a first down inside the 30-yard line up to about the 26. And it might have been John Elam carrying the football. It's very close to a first down. It will indeed be Oak Ridge 1st and 10.
Boy, and really, Dave, they're establishing control of that line of scrimmage, and it's something that Coach Gaddis really wanted to do to try to keep this Cleveland ball club off the field offensively. They've established a little bit of a rhythm early, scoring that quick touchdown, but he feels like that if Oak Ridge can control the Cleveland defense, that the fewer opportunities Cleveland has on offense, the better for the Wildcats.
From the 27, 1st and 10, Oak Ridge. And Colquitt will pass. Down the way, it's going to be a screen complete to Douglas. Douglas has the ball at the 20-yard line. Inside, he's going to be pushed right out at the 20. Gain of about 8 on the play. Not a very well-thrown pass. It was a completion. Douglas had a man staring him right in the face, but good penetration that time as Colquitt took a shot, I believe, as he delivered the pass.
Well, he looked good throwing the ball, though, David. He's really just not had a lot of opportunity to do those type of things. He's worked very briefly, maybe an hour cumulative all this week. During the practices and preparation, so he's really getting his practice here early in this first quarter.
Second down, 3 for Oak Ridge. The ball just shy of the 20-yard line, and the handoff goes to Cooper. Cooper has the ball inside the 20, down to about the 18, where it'll be 3rd down and about a yard to go for a first down. As they spot it right at the 18, they need to get to the 17, so it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go for Oak Ridge. Bernard Douglas brings in the new play from the sideline. Oak Ridge coached by Joe Gaddis, Jim Younger, Bruce Lucier, Barry Saunders, Mike Stevens. Up to the line of scrimmage, Oak Ridge. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Douglas wide to the left, Y.U. Graham wide to the right. High formation, Oak Ridge once again. They need a yard for a first. Pitch out, left side. John Elam gets a block and more. He has a first down inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 14, and it'll be first down. 10 yards to go for Oak Ridge.
He really showed good second effort, David. That time he got hit right about the first point, at the point of the first down, and he really accelerated forward and had an opportunity. A couple people had him, and he had an opportunity to go backwards, but he kept that leg drive and indeed did pick up the first down. Now they can pick up a first down inside the 5 without picking up a touchdown. It's a fairly good situation to operate from inside the 15.
Single coverage on Tyrone Irons to the right side, Y.U. Graham wide to the left. First down, 10. Handoff goes. John Elam. He's got the ball to the 10-yard line. That's about it. Cleveland, good size on both sides of the football. Their linemen, good size, much bigger than the Wildcats.
Well, they are, David, but I think Oak Ridge is out-quicking them, if you will, at the point of attack. They're getting the shoulder pads on the defense without the defense being able to get their hands out, and they're able to move these guys. Oak Ridge is taking some pretty good-sized splits, not really overly big, but they are really taking the fight and coming off the line hard.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second down, 6. Pitch out. John Elam to the 4-yard line, up to about the 6, that is. And he needs to get to 4 for a first. It'll be out 2 yards short of a first down. The line of scrimmage will be the 6-yard line. 3rd down, 2 yards to go here in the first quarter of play. The clock is not operating properly. Hopefully it'll be operating in the second quarter. Cleveland leads in the game by a score of 7-0 on a 50-yard touchdown run by, I believe, Moore. Wide to the left side, Y.U. Graham. Wide to the right, Bernard Douglas. Oak Ridge once again from the eye. 3rd down, 2. Pitch out goes to Elam. He's got the ball to about the 5. He might be about a yard short of a first. And depending on where they spot it, Jim Vine signaling first down, and the referees will probably agree. As the ball is right at the 4, and they're taking a long look from the sidelines, they'll bring the chains on the field. So we'll be back from Blankenship after this 32nd. He and Tom Underwood back here at Blankenship. 1st and goal. Oak Ridge at the 4-yard line. They'll send Irons wide to the left. Wide to the right side will go Graham, and I believe that might be the end of the first quarter. The referees signaling something. It will not be the end of the quarter. They'll line it up once again. First down, goal to go from the 4. Colquitt brings him up from the eye once again. Colquitt hands it off to Cooper. Cooper drives to about the 1-yard line. He'll be short of the touchdown at that point. It'll be 2nd down, goal to go for Oak Ridge.
This offensive line, Brad Dew, Andy Mingy, and Reggie Mormon in particular up front, are doing the job for this Oak Ridge Ball Club. They are moving people out up the middle. And Cooper and Elam both have had success straight up the middle, which has got to be very pleasing to the eyes of this Oak Ridge coaching staff.
2nd down, goal to go at the 1-yard line. Colquitt for Oak Ridge brings him up. Long count. Handoff goes Stan Cooper, is he in the end zone? Yes. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. So the Wildcats on the board here in the first quarter of play. Stan Cooper, a 1-yard run, and the Wildcats can tie the game as Eric Marlin will come onto the field to attempt the point after. Wildcats, as Cleveland has only had one offensive play, it was a 50-yard touchdown run, and let's see. It'll be Marlin to attempt, and Clifford Guthrie will be holding. Clifford Guthrie has been working this week at quarterback. He was a quarterback last year, and he'll be holding for Oak Ridge. 7-6. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. So it's time on the field, our score. Oak Ridge and Cleveland are tied at 7. And we'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Good job. David Clary, Jim Vines, Andy Hickey, and Tom Underwood back here at Blankenship Field. 7-7 the score. Oak Ridge and the Cleveland Blue Raiders. And Oak Ridge will have Marlin to kick off. Back to receive the kick, which is something that Cleveland specializes in, with his number 34. That'll be Mike Moore. He already has a 50-yard touchdown run to his credit. And here's the kickoff by Eric Marlin. High kick, not very long. It'll be fielded at the 10 by number 18. That'll be, or number 12, that's Davis. He works to the right, still on his feet to the 20, and now he's going to be tackled right at the 20-yard line. Gang tackling by Oak Ridge. It'll be Cleveland first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
To give Marlin some credit there, it looked like he did try to kick away from the deep man and was very successful at doing it. And being a soccer player, he does have an ability to place a ball, which I think gives him an advantage over just a kicker, especially a straightaway kicker that has to line up and move in a certain direction. He has a chance to put his body into it a little bit, and it gives him a little bit of an advantage when he tries to place the ball to one side of the field or the other.
Mac Weir at quarterback brings them up. First down, 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. Backfield split. Handoff goes to number 34. Gains about 3 yards. Carrying the football once again was Mike Moore. Not as much running room as he had on his last carry.
Well, David, people watching on cable on the replay will try to concentrate on this defensive line of scrimmage for Oak Ridge, and that's where all the action is going to take place with this wing T offense. If Oak Ridge can stay at home and do their jobs against the people that are trying to get a body on them and block them, then we're going to be successful in stopping this ball club.
And it'll be second down and about 7 yards to go. Handoff goes, flags are down in the backfield, and he gets away from one man, gets the ball to the 25-yard line. I believe it's going to be a penalty against Cleveland.
Well, that would look like a procedure penalty, even though Cleveland is going to try to say the man was going in motion. He did not have the motion look. He looked like that he over-anticipated the count, but we won't second-guess the rest. We'll wait for a call. But it did seem like all the referees threw the flag simultaneously.
Indeed, a 5-yard penalty will be stepped off, I believe, and now Oak Ridge is signaling they will decline the penalty. It'll bring up a third down and about 5-yard situation for the Cleveland Blue Raiders at the 25.
David, I can go along with that. Put a little pressure on them right now, because even though they have been able to pick up yardage, this is a big test for them, and if Oak Ridge stops them right here, then Oak Ridge should get the ball around the 40, 45-yard line.
We're in the first quarter of play, 7-7 the score. Cleveland third down, 5 yards to go. The line of scrimmage is their own 25-yard line. We're at quarterback. He's a big quarterback, 6'3". He'll drop back to pass. They don't pass much. He goes across the middle. The pass is intercepted by Oak Ridge's Caldwell at the 40. Gets the ball to about the 35-yard line, and Oak Ridge will take over first down, 10 yards to go. One thing that Coach Gaddis told us in the pregame show was he hoped that Cleveland would throw the ball, because that's something they don't do very well. And in the first pass, it's intercepted, and Oak Ridge has great field position. And Oak Ridge will take over first and 10 at the Cleveland 37-yard line as Mike Caldwell picks off the pass for Oak Ridge. Up to the line of scrimmage will come Oak Ridge. Douglas wide to the right side, wide to the left will go Quayu Graham. Once again, Oak Ridge from the eye. Jerry Colquitt, the junior quarterback, looks it over first and 10.
Look for him, David. I wouldn't be surprised if they go deep right away.
And instead, it'll be a handoff up the middle to Stan Cooper. He has the ball to the 35, gain of about 2.
In this position on the field, ball on the 35, I wouldn't be surprised at all in this first series if they did try something deep. Obviously, Coach Gaddis wants to play it close to the vest and go ahead and put this one in and get another score. But with this position on the field, you got to be tempted to go ahead and try to throw one up.
And Oak Ridge will come up, second down, about 9 yards to go from the 35. Colquitt once again from the eye, flankers left and right. Second down, he'll pass. A little short pass, way out of bounds, intended for Tyrone Irons on the left side. So it'll be third down, 9 yards to go for Oak Ridge.
David, looked like Jerry just rose up and saw a coverage that either he didn't anticipate or really didn't like at all, and he just buried the ball on the sidelines.
And it'll be third down, 9 yards to go from the 35-yard line. Cleveland substituting. Out of the contest will go number 60, Todd Fairley. Back into the game will come Desi Whaley. Flankers left and right for Oak Ridge. Third down and about 9 yards to go. Colquitt from the Cleveland 35-yard line will drop straight back to pass. Looks down the way. Man is free. Pass is intercepted by Cleveland at the 35, to the 40, to the 50, to the 45, and pushed out of bounds at the 40 by Stan Cooper. Not a well-thrown pass that time by Colquitt, and Cleveland takes over first and 10.
Well, David, he really looked at his primary target all the way, and he threw it in there pretty hard, but he really did. I'm not sure if he overthrew it or not, but they had pretty good coverage on that side. And again, I reiterate that he really looked at his primary target pretty much the whole way when he sat up back in the pocket.
I believe the first quarter has come to a close. So our score here from Blankenship Field, Oak Ridge and Cleveland are tied at 7. And we'll be back after this 30-second timeout. 7-7 the score as we're about to start the second quarter of play. Cleveland will have the football in Oak Ridge territory at about the 40 as they're still trying to get the clock to operate. It's been ticking down throughout the first quarter of play, non-stop actually, and they've reset it a number of times. I don't know if it's working properly, evidently not. And the referee's still talking about it.
Yeah, the PA announcer did just say that the time is being kept on the field. I don't understand why the clock keeps running, though. It's got to be a distraction to everyone. If it's going to be kept on the field, they need to just turn the clock off.
And it'll be first and 10 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders at the 40-yard line. They'll hand it off on a reverse to misdirection. Number 7 gets the ball to about the 35-yard line, pushed out of bounds by Oak Ridge. It'll be a gain on the play of about 4, maybe 5 yards, depending on where they spot it. It'll be second down for Cleveland.
Goldston, the senior, Dion got the handoff from, it looked like Parks, I believe. If not Parks, it was Moore for sure. But the flow was going to the strong side, and then Goldston came back to the weak side. That's a play that's got to scare coaches to death because also Parks has the option of faking a handoff, which that just poses that many more problems in this wing T offense.
Second down, 6. Handoff goes to number 34, Moore. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped for a loss. And Oak Ridge will get about a 4-yard loss on the running back, and it'll be third down and about 9 for maybe third down and 7 for Cleveland.
Well, I'll tell you who did their job and what's going to show up on the films. Scapatisi that time really took on his man and knocked him down and really caused the flow to really come to the ball. And he really did a good job. He was nowhere near the tackle, but he did a good job of taking the blockers out of the way for the Cleveland running back and set up the good defensive play by the pursuit of Oak Ridge.
And it'll be third down, 7 yards to go from the 36-yard line. Once again, the little Utah pass. Boom! At the line of scrimmage by Michael Warrendine at the 35-yard line. And it'll be fourth down for the Cleveland Blue Raiders.
Oh, great read by Warrendine. That's something that Cleveland has done. And Warrendine, what the offense was hoping would happen was Warrendine would rush after the quarterback and take himself out of the play. And by Coach Gaddis setting the defensive lineman back 3 or 4 steps from the line of scrimmage, it enables them not to overrush on those situations. And Warrendine did a great job in reacting there, and Cleveland's going to have to punt.
And he'll be punting from about his own 47-yard line. He gets the punt away. End over end kick. Let's see if it goes. It's going to be almost a beautiful punt. It goes into the end zone. Oak Ridge will take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And let's see if Jerry Colquitt comes out at quarterback.
Oh, yeah, he's out there, and he's getting the first play from Coach Gaddis, and Coach is trying to settle him down a little bit. He looks really good, Dave, but again, we stress the fact that this is a pain situation. The more he is playing, the more intense the pain supposedly becomes. Last week in the ball game, they said he felt great in the first half, especially in the first quarter. Third quarter didn't feel so good, or later on the second quarter didn't feel so good. So the pain does tend to get worse as he plays more on the foot.
And it'll be 1st and 10 Oak Ridge. Handoff goes to Elam. He carries for about 3 yards. And it'll be 2nd down, about 7 yards to go. 7-7 the score here in the first quarter play. And I believe, Jim Vines, the clock is operating as I saw a signal from the sideline. We'll just have to see. It stopped at 10:52. It'll be 2nd down, and it should be running if it was operating. Maybe they've got it timed out, but it'll be 2nd down 7 for Oak Ridge at the 23-yard line. Douglas wide to the right side. And Caldwell will line up at a tight end on the left side. Oak Ridge from the eye. Colquitt brings him up. 2nd down 7. Pitch out. Left side goes to Elam. He's got that ball to the 25, to the 30. Cuts to the right side. Is on his feet to about the 35-yard line. Nice run by Elam. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge.
Well, David, he's cutting back toward the inside, something that this year he's taken a liking to doing, and he does it quite frequently. That time, it worked to his advantage. Once he can start to cut both ways with equal success, then the defense will have no idea what he's going to do. He's going to be even more dangerous. But that time, he chose the proper line, and he cut back, and he shows great balance. When he cuts back and running laterally, he really takes hits well and seems to stay on his feet with a lot of success. Single coverage on Quaiu.
1st and 10 from the 35, and Colquitt will hand it off up the middle to Cooper. He's still on his feet to the 50-yard line, rambling straight up the middle. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge.
Well, David, they're just controlling the offensive interior line of scrimmage, and again, you go back to the men that are doing it for him. Brad Dew, Andy Mingy, and Reggie Mormon, Sean Vickery, and Ron Wright.
And it'll be Oak Ridge, just shy of the 50-yard line at the Oak Ridge 49. Douglas wide to the left side for Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge comes up from the eye. And the backfield, Cooper and Elam. 1st down, 10. Oak Ridge High School Wildcats tied with Cleveland at 7. Pitch out, right side, Elam hits the ball across the 50 to the 45-yard line, up to the 44. Gain of about 6 in the play. 2nd down and 4 for Oak Ridge. The ball in Cleveland territory. They're going to spot it down at the 45-yard line. They need to get to the 40 for a 1st down, so it's a gain of 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4. Douglas comes out of the contest. Back into the game will come Quaiu Graham, and he'll drift off wide to the left side. 2nd down and about a long 4 to go for a 1st as Oak Ridge comes up from the Cleveland 45. Jerry Colquitt at quarterback will hand it off, 1st man through Cooper. Boom, he's hit at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play, maybe even 2, depending on where they spot it. It'll be 3rd down and about 4, maybe 3 yards for Oak Ridge.
That time, Art Matson really got in there, David, the big man, 302 pounds, 5'10". That time, he guessed right. I think he guessed which way he was going to take on Reggie Mormon, and that happened to be the way the play was going. But he stuck him pretty good there on that play. That's really the first time that I can remember they've really stopped him on a key possession up the middle.
3rd down, 4 yards to go from the 44-yard line. Pitch out left side goes to Elam. He's got very close to 1st down yardage. He'll be about a yard short at the 41-yard line. And I believe Neil Cutshall might be coming into the game. That'll be 4th down and about 2 yards to go. And Oak Ridge deciding to go for it. And I believe now Coach Gaddis wants a timeout. So time on the field, our score here in the 2nd quarter of play. Oak Ridge and Cleveland are tied at 7. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Get shift Phil and Jim for the 3rd consecutive year. Former Mayor Al Bissell has just brought us our Buckeye for good luck, and Oak Ridge will need it. 4th down, 2 yards to go, and they'll send in Neil Cutshall to punt for Oak Ridge. And back to receive the kick for the Blue Raiders will go, I believe, number 2, Brad Green, along with Moore. And Cutshall will be punting from about his own 50-yard line here in the 2nd quarter of play. 7-7 the score. Oak Ridge, as Cutshall only had to punt once last week against Campbell County, gets this one away. High spiraling kick, takes a nice bounce. It's going to go into the end zone, though, and Cleveland will take over. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Something that Jim's been talking about. Oak Ridge is dominating the offensive line. They're getting the holes open, and the Oak Ridge running backs have been able to get some good yardage.
Well, Dad, that's why I'm surprised that they didn't go for it on that particular play, but I think they feel like that they're starting to establish control of the ball game, and they didn't want to give the momentum back to Cleveland possibly at that particular point. So they're still playing a little close to the vest, but obviously their offensive line is winning the war early in this first half.
Mac Weir will bring them up. 1st down, 10 yards to go from the 20-yard line. And the handoff goes up the middle. Good running room, and he breaks it open. Once again down the left side to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. Mike Caldwell knocks him down at about the 45-yard line. Cleveland, like we saw last season, gets good yards when they go misdirection inside and out. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Raiders. The ball will be spotted at the Cleveland 46-yard line. We're in the second quarter of play. We apologize, the clock not operating here at Blankenship Field. 7-7 the score. Oak Ridge and Cleveland. Up to the line of scrimmage will come the Blue Raiders. 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. A man in the slot on the right side. Backfield split. In motion will come number 12. Handoff goes instead to the right side to number 34, Moore. He gets the ball to about the 50. It'll be a gain of about maybe 3.5 yards. Second down, we'll call it 7 yards to go for a Cleveland first down, right at the 50-yard line. And out of the contest will come number 4, Maurice Parks. Checking back into the contest will come Prigmore. Wide to the right will go Davis and Calfee. As they come up, second down, 7 yards to go at the 50-yard line. Handoff goes, number 42 had good room and has even better yardage this time after the second first down play. Gets the ball to about the 45-yard line. Carrying the ball once again was Chris Parks. Close to a first down. He'll be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down, 1 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders.
It looked like, David, on that play, Hastings, I believe, number 55, was the man that got in there and got a trip on the running back, Parks, or else he was going to go for some big yardage right there.
3rd down, 1 yard to go. The ball at the 44-yard line. Quarterback, Mac Weir. He'll sneak it across for a first down. He gains about 2 on the play, so it'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball in Oak Ridge territory at the 43-yard line. 7-7 the score. As into the game now for Oak Ridge will come Trey Hastings once again. And Oak Ridge will check out, I believe, Rufus Shepard. It'll be 1st and 10 Cleveland at the 43-yard line. To the left side wide will go Calfee. As they come up, a man in the slot, that'll be number 12, Davis. Backfield split, 1st and 10 for Cleveland. Handoff goes up the middle once again to Parks. He gains about 5, getting good running room before he's tackled by, let's see, Laurendine, I believe. It'll be 2nd down, 5 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. Andy Hickey doing our stats tonight. Tom Underwood, our engineer, back at the station. And we're in the second quarter of play. 7-7 the score from Blankenship Field. Next week, Oak Ridge will travel to Halls High School to be once again in District 3 action. 2nd down, 5 yards to go for the Blue Raiders. The ball at the 37-yard line. Handoff goes to Parks, and he's hit at the 35. Gets inside to about the 34. It'll be 3rd down, about 2 yards to go. Once again, I believe, Laurendine on the stop for Oak Ridge.
So this is going to be a big play right here. You got 3rd down and short, and Cleveland outside of the big plays when they've gotten out wide has really not gotten a lot accomplished unless they've used mixed direction. When they pitched it and went straight at Oak Ridge has been up to the task. This is a big 3rd down play here early in this ball game.
3rd and about 2 yards to go. Weir brings him up from the 34. Oak Ridge lineman digging in on defense. Handoff goes to Parks. He's hit short of a first down. Very, very close. Tries to sneak over the top of the pile, but from where he's situated, he might be about a half a yard short. And if that's the case, it'll bring up 4th down for the Blue Raiders. And let's see. 4th down and 1 yard to go as they're spotted at the 33.
Looks like, David, they're going to be faced with the same thing basically that Oak Ridge had to deal with, as we see Coach Gaddis about as far onto the ball field as I've ever seen a coach, as one of the referees reminds him that he doesn't have a helmet and shoulder pads, and he kind of scoots back a little bit. But Reggie Mormon coming back in, and Morgan going out. No, now this time Joe White comes out. And now they stop the clock. They're going to let the coaches know there are 4 minutes to go in the first half of play. Big 4th down play. Cleveland's going to go for it.
And now they'll talk things over. The line of scrimmage is the 33-yard line of Oak Ridge. 4th down, less than a yard to go at that point. 7-7 the score. The clock continues to tick now as the referee started once again. 4th down, 1 from the 33. Weir brings him up at quarterback. Rufus Shepard digs in right over the center. He's the nose guard. Let's see if Weir will take it himself. No, he'll hand it off to number 42. He's hit the line of scrimmage, but manages to sneak for a first down at the 31-yard line. So it'll be 1st down 10 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and they'll have the ball at the 31.
Well, David, we had him right at the first down marker, and we didn't have a finisher to come up and put the final hit on Parks. And again, leg drive and good fundamentals on his part. as he got the first down for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. I don't even know why they're bringing out the measure, but at any rate they're going to. And but it looks like now we'll figure there's about 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. It's tied 7-7. Cleveland deep in Oak Ridge territory. Indeed, first down and 10, just outside the 30-yard line, driving on Oak Ridge right now.
Back in the ball game for Cleveland will come Brad Green, and he'll drift off wide to the left side. Weir has the play from the sideline. First down 10 from the Oak Ridge 31-yard line. Wildcats and Blue Raiders here from Blankenship Field. You're listening to this game on 1290 WATO and on Tennessee Cablevision, Channel 7 and 27. Handoff goes right side at number 34. He gets to about the 30 inside to about the 29. Moore carrying the ball once again for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. Not as much yardage. They'll spot it at the 28. Gain of about 3. Second down 7 for Cleveland.
I'm not exactly sure that's the play that the coach wanted coming into the ball game. He's kind of chewing his quarterback out there as he is doing voice signals along with hand signals to the quarterback. Interesting that they don't go ahead and just run a player in there, make it a lot more simpler, because he's hollering from about 30 yards away, hollering the plays in to the quarterback.
Second down 8. Once again, number 12 gets the call. He'll get the ball to about the 26-yard line. Gain of maybe 2 on the play. It'll bring up third down and about 5.
Well, they're definitely in 4-down territory here, David. I don't know that they have a field goal kicker that can go from this distance, and now we have to assume we're under 3 minutes to go in the first half of play, so they do have some timeouts remaining, and I think, this is third down in about 5.5 or 6, but they definitely feel like they're going to take 2 downs to pick it up if they need to.
7-7. Oak Ridge and Cleveland. Up to the line of scrimmage will come the Blue Raiders. Third down 5 from about the 27-yard line. Weir brings them up. 2 men wide to the right side. Weir at quarterback. He'll drop back to pass. Here comes Oak Ridge on penetration. The man is there. The pass is complete for a first down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. First and 10. Cleveland at that point. Defending for Oak Ridge, Quayu Graham, along with number 52 for the Wildcats, Reggie Moorman.
Well, I think it surprised him a little bit, and the quarterback had a good little snap on the ball when he released it, and they had enough people in the pattern where Oak Ridge couldn't really load up on one player. As now Parks comes to the sideline and accepts the play from the coach. It looked like, David, I don't know.
Rufus Shepard was the man defending for Oak Ridge. It'll be first down 10 from the 20-yard line. Weir at quarterback. He'll hand it off on the right side to number 42, and he is knocked down again by, this time, Edward Dunbar, along with a couple other Wildcats. No gain on the play. It'll be second down, maybe a yard on the play, the way they spot it. Second down, 9 yards to go for Cleveland.
David, Cleveland just really has very little success in this ball game going right at Oak Ridge. Most of their success in running the ball has been going wide and on the misdirection inside handoffs, but every time they pitch and try to do anything power-wise, Oak Ridge is up to the task and has stopped them effectively so far in the first half.
Second down 9, the quarterback rolls. He'll turn the ball upfield and gets the ball to about the 15 before he's knocked down by Oak Ridge. Gain of about 4. Once again, bringing up a third down and 5 yards to go for Cleveland.
And we've got to be well under 2 minutes to go, probably, just trying to guess here, maybe 1.5 minutes to go here in this first half. As the coaches are trying to find out, the Oak Ridge coaches are trying to find out how much time there is left.
Third down 5 from the Oak Ridge 15-yard line. Cleveland with the football, tied with Oak Ridge at 7. Mac Weir, the quarterback, will hand it off up the middle. Good running room, but I believe he's going to be short of a first down by about 2 yards. It'll bring up fourth down, and timeout is asked for by Cleveland. So with time on the field, our score, Oak Ridge and Cleveland are tied at 7. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. Back here at Blankenship Field, fourth down, about a yard to go for a first down for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. The ball at the 11-yard line of Oak Ridge, 7-7 the score.
David, me and Andy were just discussing, what we would do if we were on the Cleveland side and we both agreed to take the points, but then you try to factor in that it is a non-district ball game, and they talked about it a little bit in there, and indeed it looks like they are going to try to come with the kicking team, but it doesn't always mean they're going to kick it.
And onto the field, let's see, as they're going to spot it on the right hash marker, they're going to set it off on the left side. One of those strange where they line it up on the right side and into the ball game to attempt the point after. Let's see if he can turn around and get his number. The guy who's been kicking off for them consistently in the end zone is not out there. This is Alex Hudman to attempt what would be a 27-yard field goal. 7-7 the score. The ball is down. The kick is up. The kick looks no good, but it's going up and straight and true good. And Cleveland takes the lead by a score of 10 10-7 here in the second quarter of play on a 27-yard field goal by Hudson. And the Wildcats trail by 3, and Johnny Williams will drop back to receive the kick.
And in all likelihood, Parks is going to put it back in the end zone again, so the Wildcats will have it on the 20-yard line, and we can't get a feel for exactly how much time is left on the field. We're trying to watch for the officials to signal, but as of yet, we don't know. We assume it's under a minute to go. Oak Ridge does have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half, so we'll see what they do when they get the ball here after Parks' kick.
And Williams is standing right at the goal line. He hasn't had any chance to get the ball. The first 2 times that Cleveland has kicked off, both of them, one of them almost split the uprights on the opening kickoff. The other kickoff went into the end zone. Williams standing back to receive it for the Wildcats, trailing 10-7 here in the first half of play from Blankenship Field. Referee's about set, and here's the kickoff by Cleveland. This one is high, not quite as long, but it will still be in the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Oak Ridge will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. One thing that Oak Ridge has had some success doing all season long is their kickoff and punt returns, but with Parks kicking off for the Blue Raiders, no success at all because he's kicked 3 kicks and all 3 of them have gone into the end zone. Oak Ridge takes over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
We'll see what Oak Ridge feels like they can do, David. They have some timeouts and they have the ball on the 20. We'll get a good feel for what they're going to try to do on these first couple of plays.
Quayu Graham wide to the right. Douglas wide to the left. Backfield split. Colquitt at quarterback, and he'll just down it. And a flag goes down on the play. And let's see. Evidently very little amount of time on the clock, as a penalty, I believe, is going to be stepped off against Oak Ridge. And it will indeed be a 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge. And our score here at almost close to the halftime, Cleveland leads Oak Ridge by a score of 10-7, and it'll be first down, 15 yards to go for Oak Ridge. The line of scrimmage is the 15-yard line. Oak Ridge had some success in the first half of play, moving the ball on the ground against this Blue Raider team. The Wildcats turned the ball over 2 times on interceptions, as it'll be 1st and 15 from the 15-yard line. Colquitt at quarterback will down it, and the clock will continue to tick down here from Blankenship Field. Jim Vines, the halftime show, the inductees to the Oak Ridge Sports Hall of Fame will be made, and some very fine recipients. 2 of them not with us, and 2 of them I'm sure will be here to receive the Hall of Fame.
Well, 2 of them have passed on, David, and 2 of them will be here tonight, and probably 2 people that are here tonight mean as much to this Hall of Fame as any of the other previous inductees. And we'll get to all that as those activities start here probably in about 10 minutes or so. At any rate, the first half has come to a close, and David, frankly, I'm a little surprised at the score. Not exactly that it's 10-7, but the way it was 10-7. Both teams had more opportunities to put points on the board, but they really didn't. They had the one big play by Cleveland, and then Oak Ridge had the one tremendous drive. But other than that, neither team has really looked sharp, except for Oak Ridge coming up with a couple of turnovers that stopped some of their drives. But Cleveland has not sustained themselves in the wing T like I saw them do last year.
Our score here at halftime, the Wildcats of Oak Ridge trail the Blue Raiders from Cleveland. Our score 10-7. Both bands are present. We'll have the halftime presentation by both of them. We'll also have the Hall of Fame. We'll get to that after the 60-second timeout. Oak Ridge will be receiving from the Cleveland team. And here's the kick by Parks. High, driving. It'll be a touchback once again. Oak Ridge will take over 1st and 10 at the 20.
David, Coach D clarified what Cleveland did. They decided to defend a goal rather than take an opportunity to receive in the second half. So they decided they would rather have going one way versus another, as rather than accept the ball on the kick in the first half or second half. It's very unusual there. I just don't know that I would have given Oak Ridge an opportunity to get back moving where they left off in the first half.
Oak Ridge will come in with Joe White at a slot on the right side. I formation, flanker to the right side. That's Quayu Graham. 1st and 10. Handoff goes up the middle to 11. Now he breaks it to the outside and is going to be knocked down by number 77, I believe, for the Blue Raiders. That'll be Art Maston, I believe. It'll be no gain in the play, possibly a yard lost. In fact, that will be the case. 2nd down, 11 for Oak Ridge.
Well, again, David, he had an opportunity to get out. He's just about a half a step slow of getting where they want to get. And I don't know if Cleveland's just being that quick or just quick enough but there have been numerous occasions so far in the first half and then here early, first play, second half, where they had a chance to get outside just a half a step late.
Second down 11 from the 19-yard line. Colquitt will hand it off to White on the left side. He'll try to turn the corner and will knock down at the line of scrimmage right at the 20. A play that Oak Ridge used quite effectively against the Farragut Admirals, but up to defend it will be Prigmore for Cleveland, and there'll be no gain on the play. Third down, maybe a yard on the play. Third down 10 for Oak Ridge.
Well, this could work to Cleveland's advantage if they stop Oak Ridge here without picking up a first down early. It would give them excellent field position, a little bit on their side of the field, but definitely about the 40, 45-yard line. They would have the ball in excellent field position, barring a great kick.
And wide to the right side for Oak Ridge will go Bernard Douglas. Wide to the left side, Quayu Graham. Third down 10. Pitch out right side, Elam. He wants to pass. Looks down the way to Douglas. He's got it. Complete. First down, Oak Ridge. And I believe it's now going to be called an incomplete pass as he fumbled it. Cleveland thought they had the fumble recovery, but Douglas, I don't believe, could hold on to the ball. He had what would appear to be a first down at the 33, and it'll be fourth down 10 facing Oak Ridge.
Well, the pass was just a little wobbly, David. It took a while to get to him, but it did look like Bernard had control of the ball, but when he came down, it all got pretty intense down there as the defensive back did a good job of stripping the ball away. But again, that time, instead of Johnny Williams being in there, they used Elam, I believe, on the throw that time, and they completed the pass, but just on the way down, the ball got stripped away.
And Neil Cutchaw will punt, and it's away. High spiraling kick will be fielded at the 30-yard line by number 2. That'll be Green. Off to the left side, has the ball to the 40, to the 45, so from the middle to about the 49-yard line, where he is pushed back by Oak Ridge. It'll be good field position for Cleveland. First and 10 at their own 47.
Looked like Scott got clipped a little bit, number 53, right at the end of the play, but the referees chose not to throw the flag. And again, like we said, on the punt, Cleveland has it right about midfield, just about 3 or 4 yards out. So indeed, it does work out to their advantage to kick off because they stop Oak Ridge and they get the ball in great field position.
3.5 on the hang time for Neil Cutchaw. First down, 10 yards to go from the 47-yard line. Clock working, 10-12 to go in the third quarter. Weir will pass. He looks across the middle. The pass is incomplete. Intended for number 88, Newman. It'll be second down 10 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders.
Interesting, though, that they come out trying to throw. Maybe that could be a sign that they're not as pleased with their offense in the first half, or it could also be that they're just trying to loosen up the secondary a little bit. Maybe they felt like the secondary and the outside men for Oak Ridge were being able to play runs so much because Cleveland not throwing the ball, and maybe they felt like that was one of the problems with their offense. They weren't giving the defensive backs and cornerbacks something to think about through the air.
Second down 10 from the 47-yard line, 10-7 as Weir will roll to the right side. Has a block, will try to turn the corner, and will go down at about the 49-yard line. Gain of maybe 2-3 yards on the play. Johnny Williams, John Spratling, and Edward Dunbar over to make the play for Oak Ridge. Line of scrimmage will be at the Oak Ridge 48, and it'll be third down 7 for Cleveland.
Well, a big play, David, even though it's early in the third quarter. And again, we'll remind people the clock is now working 9 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Oak Ridge trails Cleveland here at Blankenship 10-7.
And Weir has the play from the sideline. 10-7 Cleveland and Oak Ridge from Blankenship Field, the 5th game of the 1988 season, as the Blue Raiders come to the line of scrimmage, which is the Oak Ridge 48-yard line. Weir at quarterback. And let's see, he'll roll to the right side. Wants to turn the ball upfield, has no place to go. He scrambles across the 45. He'll be short of a first down by about 3, maybe even 4 yards as they spot it at the 44. It'll be 3 yards short. Fourth down, and the punting unit will come onto the field.
Looked like David didn't have one of his blockers on the right side of the field. Looked like Mike Monroe was lined up to the weak side, but I think he wanted him on the strong side because he basically did a naked reverse and was all alone out there and had no protection whatsoever. Good defensive stand by Oak Ridge.
The new quarterback for Cleveland is Quincy Prigmore. We had been referring to him as Mac Weir. His number is 9. Weir's number was 8, and Cleveland will punt, and it's away. Line drive spiral, and Douglas will field it at the 10-yard line. Tries to go around the left side, and not guarding the ball, he'll go down at about the 9-yard line. Oak Ridge will take over, first down, 10 yards to go. That punt might have gone into the end zone if Bernard had let it go through.
Well, I don't think there's any question, David. It was a line drive, and he caught it inside the 10-yard line. Usually what you try to teach your people to do is that if it's coming to you in the air inside the 10, the odds are to go ahead and let it go. But I think Bernard, trying to make a big play and trying to do something positive, chose to go ahead and bring it it out. They're in a tough situation, but they've been here before. With the ball control they've had success with up the middle, I don't think it really puts them in a bad spot. If they'll just get back to going up the middle and doing the things they've done in the first half, they should be able to move the ball in this Cleveland defense.
I formation, Oak Ridge. One man wide to the right side. Jerry Colquitt brings him up. Pitch out goes to Elam. He has about 3-4 yards on the play before he's pushed back. It'll be second down and about 8 yards to go for Oak Ridge. Let's see if they'll spot it down at about the 13-yard line, I believe. Maybe the 12. It'll be the 13. It'll be second down 7 for Oak Ridge as Quayu Graham brings in the new play from the sideline. 7:53 to go, third quarter of play, 10-7. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge from Blankenship Field. Wide to the right side, Quayu Graham. Out of the contest will come Douglas. Oak Ridge from the eye once again. Let's see where Mike Caldwell is lining up on the right side. Second down and 8. Handoff goes up the middle to about the 15-yard line. Carrying the football was Stan Cooper. He has the ball close to the 15. They'll spot it at that point. It'll bring up third down and about 4 yards to go for Oak Ridge as Douglas brings in the play once again for Oak Ridge. 7:19 to go, third quarter play as Quayu Graham comes out. Oak Ridge playing very conservative here on this drive, deep in their own territory, the line of scrimmage at the 15. Douglas will drift off wide to the right side. The Wildcats need 4 for a first down. The line of scrimmage is the 15. Jerry will hand it off. Had a hole momentarily, scrambling to about the 20-yard line. Very, very close to a first down on second effort. Carrying the football once again for Oak Ridge, I believe, was Elam. And where they spot the ball, it looks to be about a yard short. And dropping back to receive the kick will go number 42 for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. That'll be Chris Parks. Neil Cutchaw back in the ball game for Oak Ridge. He'll be punting from about his own 5-yard line. 6:39 to go, third quarter. Fourth down, 1 yard to go for Oak Ridge. The Wildcats trail 10-7 here from Blankenship Field. Last year, Cleveland defeated Oak Ridge down at Cleveland by a final score of 21-20 in overtime. Here's the punt, a very poor one by Cutchaw. Comes off the right side of his foot and will be down the sea. It's taking a good Oak Ridge bounce at about the 44-yard line. Not a very good punt. One of the poorest punts we've seen from Cutchaw, who's had an excellent season so far in the first 5 ball games. 6:16 to go, third quarter play, first and 10. The Blue Raiders have the ball at the 44-yard line. Let's see. Back out at quarterback will come Mac Weir, the senior. Prigmore replaced him on the previous series, tried to run the ball a couple of times, unable to pick up a first down. They bring back their senior.
I think really they were just trying to give Oak Ridge a different look. They would make them start thinking about some other things.
Handoff goes to number 34, Moore. He pounds his way across the 40 up to about the 38-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. Second down, 4 yards to go. A short 4 for Cleveland at the 37-yard line.
That may have been the best straight-ahead dive play that they've run all throughout the ballgame. That time they got great penetration, but again, it was the running back Moore who took 3 or 4 shots. Really, the hole wasn't there originally. He got through, but he took 3 or 4 good shots.
Handoff goes to number 42. He breaks it open for a first down across the 30-yard line to about the 29. Carrying the football was Chris Parks, and he's got another Cleveland first down at the 29-yard line of Oak Ridge. And the clock continues to tick. 5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the third quarter of play. 10-7 the score, and Oak Ridge substituting. Shepard will come out of the contest. Quickly, Weir brings them up. First and 10 from the Wildcat 29. In motion as the handoff goes up the middle to number 34. That'll be Mike Moore carrying the football. He gained about 3, maybe 4 yards in the play. They'll spot it at the 25-yard line. One thing that Cleveland, I've noticed that they don't do, and something that Oak Ridge has had good success doing so far this season, neither team really turns the ball over on the ground game. They've turned the ball over a couple times on interceptions, but both running backs for both teams holding on to the ball very well. Second down 4. Handoff goes to number 7. He breaks it for a first down to the 20-yard line. Carrying the ball was Goldson once again, and it's very close to a first. I believe he's got it. We'll just have to see. And they'll spot it at the 20, which will make it a yard short. Third down, 1 yard to go from that point. 4:38 to go.
Looking at it from here, David, if they don't get it here, they'll probably go again because, as we saw the field goal in the first half, he really used about all the leg he had getting it that close. But they could go with Parks from this distance as the quarterback sneaks it up on third and short and got 4 or 5 yards really on the surge. And they're only going to give him credit for about 3, but indeed it's first down and 10 for Cleveland inside the Oak Ridge 20-yard line. Cleveland on top 10-7.
4 minutes, 22 seconds to go. This is David Clary, Jim Vines, Andy Hickey, and Tom Underwood here on 1290 WATO and on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 7 and 27 if you're watching the replay. First and 10, Cleveland from the 18. Handoff goes to Moore. He tries to turn the corner. He's going to be knocked down in the backfield by Oak Ridge's Quayu Graham. Loss of about 3 on the play. That was Parks carrying the football for the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and indeed a loss of about 4, maybe even 5 yards. It'll bring up second down and about 14 yards to go as Toby Tillman comes into the contest. Checking out for Oak Ridge will go Edward Dunbar. The line of scrimmage will be the 23-yard line of the Wildcats. The Wildcats digging in on defense. Second down, 14 yards to go. 3 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the third quarter play. Weir hands it off to number 42. He's hit and dropped again in the backfield. And this time, John Spratling and Stefan Scapatisi on the play for Oak Ridge, and it'll be another loss on the play, this time of about a yard. Third down, 15 yards to go for Cleveland.
Well, David, the people listening on radio aren't going to see it, but the people watching the replay tomorrow are going to see that if somebody doesn't get a hand on one of those legs, he's gone for 6 that time. They had just enough opening there for him to scoot through. This is definitely the biggest play on this drive.
Third down, 14 yards to go. Mac Weir at quarterback. He'll drop back to pass. Here comes Oak Ridge. Here's a pass, complete. And he breaks it to the 15-yard line, still about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 yards short of a first down. And it'll be fourth down and long, relatively long for Cleveland. They'll spot it down at the 15. They need to get the ball to about the 8-yard line, and they'll bring on the field goal unit once again.
Looks like it'll probably be about a 32 to 33 yarder, David, and I'm not sure that he's got the distance from here, but he's got the angle. This is basically the same angle he had before.
And then indeed it'll be a 32-yard field goal, and the ball is down. The kick is up. The kick looks good. It is good. So our score with 2:22 to go in the third quarter of play, Cleveland ups their lead to 6 points to 13-7. And we'll be back from Blankenship Field after this 30-second timeout. 13-7, and Cleveland will be kicking off once again to Oak Ridge. 2 minutes, 22 seconds to go, and let's see. Parks will boom it again. This one will be a touchback once again, so he's kicked off, I believe, 4 times now, and each one has gone through the end zone. So the Oak Ridge, first and 10 at the 20-yard line. Good stand by the Oak Ridge defense, I thought, that time, holding the Cleveland Blue Raiders to 3 points.
Well, and the kicker showed a lot more leg that time, David, as he's getting a little more adjusted. If it gets to a point where Cleveland needs to kick a field goal, if Oak Ridge comes back and scores 7, if they need to kick a field goal to win, I think anything inside the 25, this young man's got an excellent opportunity to put it through.
Quayu Graham for Oak Ridge, wide to the left side. Oak Ridge will come up from a slot. Caldwell lines up on the left side. I formation, Jerry Colquitt at quarterback. First and 10, Oak Ridge from the 20-yard line. Colquitt, long count, will pass. Little screen, complete to Quayu. Tries to get a block and does momentarily get the ball to the 25, up to about the 27-yard line. Trying to get a block from Sean Vickery, and Quayu, on good effort on his own, picks up an extra 3 or 4 yards on that play. It'll bring up second down and about 3, maybe 4 yards to go.
Well, he had to go down for the ball a little bit. It didn't really hit him right in the chest, and that took a couple of seconds, so it threw the timing off on Vickery and himself both. But Jerry did get the ball out there good. He looked good throwing the ball, so we may see him try to open things up here a little bit on this series.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Pitch out goes to Elam. He has a first down across the 30-yard line, up to about the 32. Nice surge by the left side of the line. A nice run by Elam.
That's one of the first times we've heard the fans get involved out here, David. Again, it's very similar to the Farragut ball game. They're reacting to Oak Ridge instead of acting and helping things come about. So the fans still, I don't know if it's a holdover from years past, but really just not as vocal as you would anticipate them being in this big of a ball game.
1 minute, 34 seconds to go. First and 10. Oak Ridge from the 32-yard line of Oak Ridge. Jerry Colquitt, handoff up the middle. Stan Cooper nowhere. He's going to be pushed back. And let's see, it'll be maybe a yard on the play. It'll be second down facing the Wildcats. The line of scrimmage will be about the 33. 1 minute, 13 seconds to go in the third quarter play. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge by a score of 13-7. Bernard Douglas brings in the new play from the sideline. The line of scrimmage will be the 34. Better gain on the play than I thought. Gain of 3. Second down and about 7 yards to go as Douglas moves off wide to the right side. Quayu Graham wide to the left. Oak Ridge is yet to go deep with the pass, and they come up second down and 7. I formation.
Colquitt will roll to the right, pitch it out to Elam. He's got a block, hits the ball to about the 39-yard line. He'll still be about 2, maybe 3 yards short of a first down. Cleveland, an excellent defensive ball team.
Well, they are, David. They pursue the ball right at the time. That's probably as close as you're going to see to a veer-type spread that Coach Gaddis is going to give you, at least so far what he's shown in this part of the season. And Cleveland missed an opportunity to take a shot at Colquitt. Had I been one of those Cleveland guys, I would have tried to get in there and put something on him, but they missed an opportunity to do that, and it's to Oak Ridge's benefit. But Colquitt pitched it so early and then showed good poise by moving out of the way.
Third down, about 3 yards to go. Pitch out goes to Elam. He needs to get some more yardage. He's going to get second effort and a first down for Oak Ridge at about the 44-yard line. Good defensive play by Cleveland. They were in on him, and battling for yardage was the senior John Elam. He has the ball across the 40-yard line up to about the 44 as the third quarter comes to a close. So our score going into the fourth and final quarter here from Blankenship Field. Oak Ridge trails Cleveland by a score of 13-7. And we'll be back after this 30-second. Time Tom Underwood, Roger Eichelbarger, and John Warnicki, our cameraman on Tennessee Cablevision Channel 27 and 7 tonight, as Oak Ridge will have the ball first down 10. A nice run by Elam.
Well, it's just individual effort all the way. Cleveland had the play diagnosed fairly well, and they got good penetration, looked like, by one of their tackles. And, David, they're coming up with an interesting formation here. They got Bernard Douglas single coverage all the way to the strong side of the field, and it looks like Quayu's got single coverage. So if they rotate to one of these two guys, Caldwell could split right down the middle, and somebody's going to be open if they choose to go the air here.
Trey Calfee, number 10, will be guarding Douglas, and he looks like the most nervous man in the football field right now, on the football field. First and 10, Coco will roll, pitch it out, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. Very slowed in developing play for Oak Ridge, and the ball carrier, I believe, was Elam once again. He'll lose yardage this time, about 2, second down 12.
They just don't really look very comfortable in that formation, and they've not run it a lot. I've not seen them really do this option. It's almost like a predetermined veer that I don't anticipate Colquitt keeping the ball on that situation. He's getting rid of it fairly early, which doesn't really allow the defense to commit toward the quarterback.
Second down 12 from about the 43-yard line of Oak Ridge. Jerry Colquitt will hand it off, and the ball is going to be fumbled on the play, and I believe Cleveland might have recovered. We'll have to see. They're taking the pile apart. Oak Ridge has recovered, and it'll be at the 41-yard line. Another loss in the play of about 3 yards as Douglas comes in. That'll be third down. We'll call it 13 yards to go for Oak Ridge. 11 minutes to go in the ballgame.
Hard to tell, David, on that play whether or not Colquitt meant to keep it and throw it, or it was a designed draw. But Jerry looked like he anticipated the runner with the ball, but as he followed it through, he saw that the ball was on the ground, and he helped as much as anybody getting it back.
Third down, 13 yards to go from the 41-yard line. Straight drop. Plenty of time. Jerry Colquitt now a pass. The man is there, but the pass is incomplete. Defending for Cleveland, number 24, Kevin Wells, and Oak Ridge will be forced to punt. 10:39 to go in the ball game. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge by a score of 13-7.
Well, it's just a 6-point game, so it's going to be up to the Wildcats. We need a good punt from Cutshaw here, and more than that, Dave, we need good coverage. We've got to have good coverage on these guys because they have a little bit of confidence now, and they've got a lot of room with which to throw the ball.
And a motion penalty is going to go down on the play. The punt is away. It's going to take a bounce at about the 20, down to about the 15, all the way inside the 10. So it appears to be a 5-yard step off. It might be Oak Ridge had Toby Tillman running onto the field as the punt was about to be made, and flags went down immediately on the field.
Well, he just should have stopped once he got in there. And now Coach Gaddis is questioning whether or not the guy was running laterally across the field. And they are going to call a procedural penalty against Oak Ridge. And, you know, that's just something that experience they'll get a little better at. It was a breakdown of some sorts. But, again, it's just something that they'll work on and they'll get better as the season goes along.
A 5-yard step off against Oak Ridge, and that'll bring up a fourth down and about 17-yard situation. Cutshaw will back up about 5 yards. Will be punting from his own 20.
Well, it also, what it allows the communication between the two deep backs to get a little better this time for Cleveland, because that time Cutshaw split it between the two guys, and neither one knew who was going to catch the ball, so they got the benefit of having the ball bounce. I assume that this time that one of the two backs will take charge as soon as they see where the ball's going, and the other one will become a blocker.
Fourth down, 17, Neil Cutshaw. The senior will be punting from about his own 25-yard line. And the snap is high, and the punt is away. Doesn't get off another good one. It's going to take a good bounce, I believe, and it'll be fielded and knocked out of bounds as the ball, the receiver, at about the 37-yard line, I believe. Cleveland 1st and 10 from that point.
Neal may have been reaching back just a little bit extra, and it throws off the consistent way that he's punted the ball all year long. You don't have any way of knowing except just to ask him. No one out there on the field, I can assure you, wants to make a bigger play for the ball club than Neal does. So he may have reached back for a little extra, and it could have thrown him off a little bit. And also, he did get off a fairly good punt on the play before. So the motion penalty, presents a problem. Anytime you keep allowing a person to kick, opportunities for negative, the odds go in that favor the more times they kick the ball.
1st and 10 for Cleveland at the 37-yard line, and the quarterback will roll. He's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield by Oak Ridge. A loss of about a yard. Scapatisi on the play for Oak Ridge, along with Quaid Graham.
Well, Scap stayed home that time, and so did Quaid. They optioned and faked the inside reverse, and the quarterback kept it all the way. But they're doing a lot better job, David, even though they're trailing in this ball game. We're down under 10 minutes to go. Oak Ridge down by 6 points, 13-7. They're doing a much better job at defending the misdirection than they did last year.
2nd down, 11. Weir will hand it off to the right side. Boom, down he goes. Might have inadvertently been knocked down by his own player, but good pressure on the left side by Oak Ridge. Not a lot of yardage on the play. In fact, maybe only one. 3rd and 10 for Cleveland.
Well, the reason he was knocked down by his own player, David, is Scapatisi got in there again and knocked his potential. The guy was trying to block him, knocked him down, and pinballed him back into the running back.
One key in this game, the lack of kickoff returns by Oak Ridge. The return yardage has been nothing for Oak Ridge in this game, and Oak Ridge has relied on that all season long. Weir will pass. Key play in the game. The pass is incomplete. Intended at the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th down facing Cleveland, and a good effort that time by the Oak Ridge defense, and they'll get the ball back only with about 1 minute and 13 seconds on that drive for Cleveland.
Well, he threw the ball on that last play, and it cost him probably about 45 seconds as we see Bernard Douglas going back deep for Oak Ridge. Dave, it's a pretty interesting situation here. If Oak Ridge gets it at about the 35, say the 40-yard line, they have 60 yards to go, and if you're Coach Gaddis, there's 9:06 to go. What you want is about a 9-minute methodical drive down the field, just like they had in the first half.
And here's the punt by Cleveland. Not a lot of pressure. He gets a bad punt off. It's going to be a line drive, and Douglas will field it at the 25. Comes off to the right to the 30. Wants to cut back upfield and will not be able to go. Fumbles the ball out of bounds, but Oak Ridge will retain possession, and there might be a penalty on the play.
Oh, they're going to call a clip, David, but he threw that flag about a good 10 to 15 seconds after the clip had been made, and the play was over at the time he threw the flag. So it's interesting that the referees at the close to the play chose not to throw the flag, but then the flag comes in about 10 seconds late from someone way back down the field.
And Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Oak Ridge Wildcats, extremely upset at the call. Indeed, a clip called against the Wildcats, and that'll negate good field position after the return by Douglas. The Oak Ridge fans showing their disapproval to the call. They'll move the ball back to about the 23-yard line. Oak Ridge will take over 1st and 10 from that point. As Jerry Colquitt comes back into the game for Oak Ridge. We have 8 minutes, 53 seconds to go in the game. The Wildcats trail 13-7 here in the 4th quarter play from Blankenship Field. Next week, Oak Ridge will travel to Halls High School to play the Red Devils in a District 3 contest. Oak Ridge stands at 2-0 in District 3 play, as does Halls. Halls also at this point, going into tonight's game, a perfect 4-0 record, as the referees want to come over and talk things over. The spot of the foul was about the 35, or the return was the 34, so they're just making double sure they know where to spot the ball down. 8 minutes, 53 seconds to go, and Oak Ridge's offense, which has been fairly sluggish here in the second half of play, mainly because Cleveland has held on to the ball quite well, and now they're going to step the ball inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over after the clip. Wildcats trail here from Blankenship Field. We're glad you've tuned in, whether on 1290 or on Tennessee Cablevision.
I'll tell you what they've got to do. They've got to get back to doing the things that they were successful with early in the ball game. They had very good execution on first down, and were getting 5+ on the first downs, which enabled them to set Cleveland up and had them off guard is what they were going to do. They just got to come back and push the ball and push the Cleveland defense back.
From the 18, handoff goes Elam. Elam trips and spins as he comes across the 20. Not a lot of yardage there. Maybe only 1, maybe 2. Second down long, and the clock continues to tick. 8:53 to go. Oak Ridge will get Gene Davis into the contest. He has the new play from the sideline. Colquitt has it at the line of scrimmage, will be the 21. Second down, 8 yards to go for Oak Ridge as Douglas trots off the field slowly. Douglas, a senior, as he'll yield to Quayu Graham. He'll drift wide to the right side. Oak Ridge from the eye. Second down, 8 yards to go. Colquitt, the junior quarterback, will hand it off on the reverse, and it's going to be Caldwell a throw. Looks down the field to Quayu Graham. The man is there. The pass is incomplete. Could have been intercepted. Caldwell put the ball in the air and held it there for a long time, and it was almost intercepted. It'll be third down facing Oak Ridge.
Well, the play took a long time to develop, but Quayu was open. Had the ball had any kind of spiral on, I think Quayu could have judged how to come back to it, but Caldwell threw the ball a long way for a man who doesn't throw the ball a lot in warm-ups at all, so they took a chance on trying to catch Cleveland coming up quick on the reverse, and it didn't work out.
8 minutes, 9 seconds to go. 13-7 the score, and Oak Ridge will come up third down, 8. Quayu Graham wide left, Douglas wide to the right, I formation. Colquitt at quarterback for Oak Ridge. From the 21-yard line, the Wildcats need a big play, at least a first down to keep this drive going. Colquitt, straight drop to pass. Looks through around the middle. He's going to be sacked behind the line of scrimmage at the 13-yard line by, let's see, I believe number 80 possibly for Cleveland. Fourth down for Oak Ridge, and they'll have to punt. 7:54 to go in the ball game, and Neil Cutchaw will be punting from his own goal line. Back to receive the kick will go number 42, Parks, along with number 2, Brad Green. Cutchaw will be punting from about the 5-yard line. It's 4th and 15 for the Wildcats. The snap is good, not a lot of pressure. Cutchaw gets off a beautiful punt. A high spiraling kick is going to be fielded, fair catch at about the 39-yard line. Beautiful punt by Cutchaw, and Oak Ridge needed it.
Well, it was an unbelievably long punt, David. I look at least 50 yards, if not 1 or 2 yards shy of that, and it's definitely what they needed. And now what they need is a big defensive stand. If they hold Cleveland to 3 downs and out, if Cleveland throws one time, they would only run about 2 minutes off on the clock. Oak Ridge on the exchange would get about the 20-yard line again. Plenty of time left to get 6 points on the board and an extra point to win this thing.
From the 37-yard line up to the line of scrimmage will come the Blue Raiders from Cleveland, Tennessee. They stand at 3-1 on the season. Oak Ridge 4-0. First and 10 from the 37, and Weir will hand it off. Flags are down. No yardage at all on the play by number 34, Moore, and it looks like possibly a motion call against Cleveland.
Well, what's more important, David, Oak Ridge probably would decline to try to make them face second down, but more importantly is it stops the clock, and that takes right there. We would have been under 7 minutes had the play went on, but as it stands right now, Oak Ridge almost gets the benefit of a timeout here.
And motion indeed, the signal against the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and Oak Ridge talking things over, and the captains and the defense wanting to see if they're going to accept the penalty. It doesn't appear so. It is indeed declined. So to bring up second down for the Cleveland Blue Raiders, the gain on the play was about a yard. It'll be second down, 9 for Cleveland. The line of scrimmage, the Cleveland 37. 7:24 to go in the ball game, and Cleveland leads 13-7. Wide to the left side will go Green, I believe. Man in the slot in motion. That'll be number 7. That'll be Golston. Handoff goes to him. He rolls to the right side. Wants to get around the corner and will not go anywhere. Turns it back upfield to the 40. Had more running room, I think, if he continued to the outside. He elected to turn it upfield. Gained about 2 on the play. It'll be third and long for Cleveland. Big play upcoming for the Oak Ridge defense.
Well, they just don't know what to expect here. Cleveland has shown desire to try to pass in this situation. With the clock being the way it is, I'll be surprised if they try to throw it because it's incomplete. They stop the clock. They want to take off as much time as they can, but this is an important possession here. We'll see if they go back to the wing T offense. Third
down and 6, and Weir will pass. Here comes the Oak Ridge pursuit. A man across the middle. Pass incomplete at the 50. So the style to stop the clock with 6:34 to go, and it'll be fourth down and 5 facing Cleveland. And once again, their punting unit will come onto the field. Oak Ridge, another opportunity, hopefully, to break a long return and get some good field position for the first time this half.
Well, David, again, that time they had the man open, and Johnny was really not covering him as close as he would have liked to, and the pass was behind him. He had the first down by about 3 yards, but the pass a little behind the receiver, and the quarterback had his man. He had all day to throw back there.
Oak Ridge plans to put on some pressure. And here's the punt. It's going to be partial, almost blocked, but it's a beautiful punt. Douglas will field it over his shoulder and fumble the ball. Needs to grab it at the 15 and does. Oak Ridge will take over at the 15-yard line. A long football field to go for the Wildcats. 6:24 to go, trailing by 6. And the Wildcats trail 13-7, and onto the field will come the offensive unit, which has had trouble moving the ball in this second half of play. The Wildcats trail by 6, 13-7. Give effort to the defense. They've held the Cleveland team in the last couple of series.
Well, they have, and Gene Davis was about a half a step away from blocking that punt, and he knows it only too well. Just a difference of, a couple fingertips, and that Oak Ridge has the ball in a completely different situation.
From the 15-yard line, Jerry Colquitt will bring him up at quarterback. And he'll hand it off to Cooper, who pounds his way to about the 20. Not a lot of yardage. And about maybe 4, maybe even 5 yards as they spot it down at the 20. They'll bring up second down and about, we'll call it 6 yards to go. Gain of 4 on the play, 5:53 to go.
Doug, really, they have enough time left at this point to do the type of things they did on that first quarter drive. If they can execute well and get up to the line of scrimmage a little quicker, they can utilize the clock and move the ball on the run, throwing it occasionally.
Alex Wright wide to the left side. Colquitt will hand it off on the left side for not a lot of yardage, only a 1 or 2 on the play. It'll bring up third down and long as Elam took the pitch on the left side. And let's see, I believe a timeout is asked for, an official timeout, as one of the Cleveland players is injured on the play. The clock is stopped with 5:28 to go, 13-7 the score, and a long situation facing Oak Ridge, trailing in the game by 6, as out of the contest will come Wright. Douglas will check back in. 5:28 to go, third down. About 3 yards to go as Vickery comes out of the contest. Douglas will drift off wide to the right. Quayu Graham wide to the left. Wildcats need a first down. Cooper, the fullback. John Elam, the tailback. Colquitt brings him up 3rd and 3. From the 21-yard line. He'll drop straight back to pass. Has some time, will elect to run the ball upfield, and he will pick up a first down across the 25-yard line. Gutsy effort by a man with a stress fracture in his left foot. Oak Ridge 1st and 10.
Well, David, they gave him a really good spot, too, because I don't know that he got as far as they gave him. So Jerry Colquitt incites the fans to get up and cheer a little bit, and it's kind of difficult when you see these fans there. They get excited for about 30 seconds, and now they're back quiet as if they're at a funeral or something. I don't understand at this point in the ball game, down by 6 points here in the fourth quarter. We need a little more shouting down there.
Quayu Graham wide to the left. Irons wide to the right. 1st and 10, Oak Ridge, 4:53 to go. The Wildcats, quarterback, Jerry Colquitt, long count. He'll pass. A little man, pass to deflected line of scrimmage. Could have even been intercepted, and it's incomplete. Very, very close. It was tipped by a lineman and fell right in the center of the pack and was unable to be held onto by one of the Cleveland linemen. They'll stop the clock, 2nd and 10. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the game. 13-7 the score. Oak Ridge has the ball, moving the ball very, very slowly. They've got the ball to the 26-yard line as Douglas will go wide to the left side. Quayu Graham wide to the right. Oak Ridge, first or second down, 10 from about the 26-yard line. Colquitt will pitch. He goes off to Elam. Tries to get a block and does. Not a lot of yards. He's across the 30. Gain of about 4. Another 3rd and long facing Oak Ridge. They'll spot it at about the 32-yard line. I believe another good spot for Oak Ridge. 3rd down, 5 as Irons brings in the new play.
It looked like that Oak Ridge had an opportunity there to get to the outside. Elam chose to bring it back up and did make some good yardage, but you're right, David. Again, another key 3rd down play as the clock gets down. By the time this play's over, we'll be down to 4 minutes in this ball game.
3rd down, 5 yards to go, Oak Ridge. From the 32-yard line, Colquitt will pitch. He goes to Elam, tries to get a running room. He'll not get a first down. He'll go down on a vicious lick by Cleveland, and Elam has the ball to the 34, and I believe Oak Ridge wants a timeout. They need the first down. That'll be 4th down, and timeout is indeed asked for. Why don't we send it back to the station for this 30 seconds game from Blankenship Field. Oak Ridge trails by a score of 13-7, and Joe Gaddis, the head coach of the Wildcats, out to talk with his team. Oak Ridge will be going for it, 4th down and 3. The Wildcats need the first down. The ball is spotted at about the 33.5-yard line. They need to get just past the 37 for a first down.
Good. I'm sure people may have picked up on my mic. What Andy just told me is that Oak Ridge has less than 30 yards total offense here in the second half.
And we're about to see if Oak Ridge can get the first. They'll come up 4th down, a long 3 to go. The line of scrimmage, the 33-yard line. Both fans, cheering sections come to their feet. Cleveland has done a good job defensively here in the second half of play. Colquitt will bring him up. 4th down and 3 from the 33-yard line. He'll go to the left. Pitch it out to Elam. He'll not get a first down. The ball's going to be fumbled on the play and recovered by Cleveland at about the 25-yard line. And it'll be Cleveland taking over. First down, 10 yards to go at the 26-yard line. At that time, the pitch was not good to Elam. Colquitt was about to be popped. And Oak Ridge, with 3:48 to go, needs another quick stand by the defense or a turnover here if they're going to have any chance of coming down the field and scoring. 3:47 to go, 13-7 Cleveland with the football at the 26-yard line. They'll come up, first down, 10 yards to go. We're at quarterback for the Cleveland Blue Raiders. He'll hand it off. Good running room across the middle to the 20-yard line. Carrying the ball was number 42, Chris Parks, and he gains about 7 on the play. It'll bring up second down and about, we'll call it a gain of 6 on the play. Second down 4 for Cleveland. The line of scrimmage is the 20. 3:18 to go in the ball game. Oak Ridge just hoping to get the ball back one more time. We've already seen that the kicker from Cleveland is able to hit some field goals already with 2 in the contest as some of the fans begin to file out of Blankenship Field. Handoff goes for close to a first down on the left side, and let's see where they spot the ball. It'll be a gain on the play of about 3, maybe 4 yards. They'll spot it down at about the 17-yard line. Not a good spot for Cleveland. Clock down to 2:53 to go. Third down, 1, facing the Wildcat defensive unit. We're looking to his head coach from the sideline. We'll have the play. The clock is stopped for some reason at 2:53. Now it continues to tick. Third down, 1 yard to go. Weir will bring him up. Oak Ridge stacks it up in the middle, and Weir will sneak it across for a first down at about the 14-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 from that point. 13-7 our score. The Wildcats trail here from Blankenship Field. Next week, the Wildcats will be back in District 3 play on the road against the Hall's Red Devils, and that'll be a District 3 contest. The line of scrimmage is the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Cleveland comes up to the line of scrimmage once again. Wildcats, I believe, with 1 timeout remaining. Handoff goes to number 42. He trips and falls to the line of scrimmage. That was Parks carrying the football. It'll be second down and about 10 yards to go. 2 minutes, 22 seconds to go. 13-7 the score. Line of scrimmage, the 15-yard line. And Cleveland, of course, taking as much time as they can to get the clock worked down. We're about to 2 minutes on the clock here in the ball game. 13-7 the score. Second down, 10 yards to go. Weir brings him up. Oak Ridge once again trying to stop. Handoff goes on the left side to number 5. He'll go to the 5. He fumbles the football, and Oak Ridge will recover it at the 3-yard line. A key mistake. It appeared the man was going to go into the end zone for a touchdown, but I believe John Spratling on the spot recovered the ball. Oak Ridge has a second life at the 4-yard line.
Well, that's about their 4th life here in the end of this ball game, though. They have 1 timeout remaining and 1:54 to go, and I hope that about 2/3 of those people that left the ball game are in their cars and going home. I don't think they deserve to watch the end of this one. We've still got a ball game left.
And it'll be first down. 10 yards to go. 1:52 to go. Up to the 4-yard line will come Oak Ridge. Jerry Colquitt brings him up. Quayu Graham wide to the right side. Douglas, it appears, wide to the left. Jerry Colquitt, 1st and 10 for Oak Ridge. He'll drop back to pass. Looks down the way. Here's Quayu Graham. The pass is incomplete. At the 30-yard line, a well-thrown pass that time. Quayu possibly a little overthrown. It'll be second down facing Oak Ridge.
Jerry put a lot on it, and he put it out there. It was a little fade to the sideline as Colquitt's waiting to get the play in from Quayu. Also, number 5 for the Wildcats coming in the game. Looks like Tyler on the irons as Bernard Douglas goes out.
Stopping the clock with 1:36 to go. Oak Ridge has the ball. Second down, 10 yards to go at the 4-yard line. Irons wide to the left. Quayu wide to the right side. Once again, coverage against him. Jerry Colquitt at quarterback. From the eye, Oak Ridge first, second down 10. Colquitt, once again, the same pass. The man is there. The pass is incomplete to Graham at about the 25-yard line off his fingertips. Third down, 10 yards to go. 1:31 to go. Oak Ridge trying to move the ball quickly. Nice toss, I believe, that time by Colquitt.
Oh, he looked good, and he had his man that time, David. That time they chose to throw in between the two men and do the same fade. They only did about 15 yards less down the field, and it worked real well for him. That's a pattern that we saw him throw in the preseason. Now this time they come with double wideouts. Look this time, David, for Mike Caldwell.
It'll be 3rd down, 10 yards to go from the 4. Jerry will pass. Has plenty of time, goes across the middle, pass, incomplete, deflected, and flags are down. It might be pass interference, and that'll give Oak Ridge a 1st down as Quayu Graham is down on his back at about the 20. The clock is stopped with 1:24 to go.
And Quayu shaking up a little bit there, but I think he's going to be able to walk that one off, as indeed Caldwell. The problem with that play, though, is that really the pass was not there. Caldwell was open, but Colquitt didn't hit him, so Oak Ridge benefited from that play, and they will pick up a 1st down, and more importantly, David, stops the clock. 1:24 to go, and I do believe Oak Ridge still has one timeout.
And they'll move the ball to about the 19-yard line. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Pass interference against Cleveland, 1:24 to go. Wildcats, as Quayu Graham has the play from the sidelines. The Wildcats might have to force to be calling a timeout, and unfortunately that will be the case, I think, as Cleveland calls a timeout. And Jim, the Wildcats, it appeared that it was going to go. We're going to go down to the feet. They still might in this contest. A fumble by the man running the ball. I believe that was Pat Thomas. Almost had a touchdown. Had the ball stripped evidently, and Oak Ridge has the ball with 1:24 to go.
Well, Taylor, that's a lot of time if they choose to pass the ball. They benefited there. They've had a little bit of breaks in the game, but the key to a good ball club is what you do with these breaks, and they've had this last one. And with the receivers they've got in Caldwell, Douglas, and Quayu Graham, along with Tyrone Irons and Ferris, who've seen quite a bit of action in this ball game, and with the arm of Jerry Colquitt, really, this ball game is still in doubt. It's a 6-point game, 13-7. A touchdown and the extra point would give Oak Ridge the victory.
The last 2 seasons, these 2 teams have played 2 great ball games. Last year, Oak Ridge lost at Cleveland 21-20 in overtime. This one 13-7 with 1:24 to go.
Well, it's still anybody's ball game. What they've got to do, David, obviously they've got to execute. They've got to give Jerry time to throw the ball, pick his receivers, and they are going to have to mix a run in there if they get an opportunity to try to keep Cleveland honest. Cleveland's dropping a lot of people back, and their interior linebackers are dropping back into zones very quickly.
From the 19-yard line, 1st and 10, Oak Ridge. 1:24 to go. Colquitt with 2 men wide to the right side. Douglas and Graham. Colquitt will pass. Has Douglas free, and he's wide open. The pass will go to him, and he's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Very slack defense on the part of number 12, Rod Davis. They're giving him the short stuff. It'll be a 1st down for Oak Ridge.
Well, it's going to be right on the 1st down markers. I think another lesson that they may get is knowing where that 1st down marker is. It's very close, and they are going to have to call for a measurement, so in a way, that allows Oak Ridge to think a little bit about what they want to do, but definitely he should have known to just get a little bit beyond the 30, but again, David, you called it. He had all day to throw, and the pattern that they chose to run, it looked like Bernard was going to go deep down the field on a little swing out and deep, and he just stopped, and Jerry put the ball right over there on him. We can't see because it's on the home side whether it's a 1st down or not, but we'll look for the reaction, and indeed it is 1st down and 10 for Oak Ridge, so obviously Bernard knew where the 1st down marker was more than I gave him credit for.
1 minute, 18 seconds to go in the ball game. 13-7, Cleveland leads Oak Ridge. The ball just shy of the Oak Ridge 30. They're moving the ball very, very slowly. A big play, though, they can get the ball down the field. Wildcats, of course, with big play potential with their fine receiving core and the excellent quarterback, Jerry Colquitt. 1st and 10 from about the 30. He looks wide to the left. That'll be Douglas. Wide to the right, Quayu Graham. Pitch out, left side. Elam tries to get a block and does. Cuts it up in the middle of the 40 to the 45 to the Dollar Street down to the 50-yard line. Oak Ridge, 1st and 10 inside Cleveland territory. A nice run by John Elam. 1:10 to go.
Again, like we said, David, they're going to have to throw a run in there to keep Cleveland honest, and it's basically the same running pitch that has worked so well for them early in this ball game. And David, this thing is wide open.
13-7 the score, Oak Ridge in Cleveland territory at the 49-yard line. Oak Ridge, 1st and 10 from that point. 1 minute to go in the ball game. Colquitt will check off at the line of scrimmage. 1 minute to go. He's over the center, 1st and 10. Jerry will pass. Looks across the way. Pass complete at the 40-yard line to Quayu Graham. 52 seconds to go. Close to another Oak Ridge 1st down.
Left short, David. They're going to have to get a playoff here as Coach Gaddis wants to take a timeout. and I'm not sure if that's his final timeout or not, and believe you're motioning that it is. So he chose to take it here because he wants to talk to him about the next 2 or 3 plays. He has second down and short. What this gives them an opportunity to do is to look toward a big play here, and if not, they may check off to a short receiver to ensure the first down. If that's not open, obviously he'll tell Jerry just to ground the ball at somebody's feet to stop the clock. So with second down and short, they do have more options here than they would normally have. They only have a half a yard to go.
13-7 the score. Cleveland leads Oak Ridge. Neither team has scored since the third quarter play. A 31-yard field goal by Cleveland. Oak Ridge's only score came in the first quarter play, a 1-yard touchdown run by Stan Cooper. Wildcats trail by 6, have the ball at the Cleveland 40-yard line with 45 seconds to go in the ball game. This drive started back at the 4-yard line. A beneficiary of a pass interference call kept the Oak Ridge drive going as the Oak Ridge cheerleaders have come into the reserve section trying to get some of these Oak Ridge fans on their feet. Oak Ridge, second down, 1 yard to go from the 40. Jerry Colquitt brings them up, 45 seconds to go, and he calls for the fans to come to their feet. 2nd and 1. Colquitt at quarterback. Pitch out, right side. Elam, first down and more across the 35, down to the 32-yard line. 40 seconds to go.
And they'll go right without a huddle here, David, as the clock is stopped, and they'll have plenty of time to get lined up. Shouldn't cost them but about 3 or 4 seconds, and look for them to go ahead and go to the end zone right here, and Jerry will just throw it way up deep if nobody's open.
Colquitt brings him up from the 34, 39 seconds to go. 13-7 the score. Colquitt at quarterback will drop back to pass. Has a man free. Looks long. Down the field to go. The man is there. The pass is complete. At the 1-yard line. Oak Ridge will have it first and goal at the 1.
Beautiful, David. That's all you can say. Jerry Colquitt used poise, and he took his time, but give the credit to that offensive line. They gave him all the time to throw, and what a superb job Bernard Douglas did getting the ball and catching it and getting it down to the 1, and I believe he's hurt on the play, David.
At Oak Ridge with 26 seconds to go, as we look in the parking lot, some of those fans who are walking down are turning and dead stop on Broadway there as Oak Ridge has taken the ball to about the 2-yard line, first and goal from that point.
David, what you have to think about here now, 26 seconds left. What that gives Oak Ridge an opportunity for, at best, 2 plays, unless they can throw to stop the clock. If they choose to run on the first play, then if the ball runs wide, it will take up 6 or 7 seconds. That gets you down to about 18 seconds. They will have just enough time to line up to throw the ball out of bounds to set up a 3rd down play. So conceivably, 3 plays. If they choose to throw on the first 2, maybe they would have a chance for 4.
Timeout is called by Cleveland. We're going to hold it right here. 13-7 the score. Douglas gets a nice round of applause, a standing ovation as he comes off the field, as does Dunbar and Fairs. They were out just to see if their friend and receiver was okay, and he is.
Well, David, I think what you've got here is the same situation that Oak Ridge had against Farragut. This is the ball game right here, and they have possibly 2 opportunities to get it in, and I think the coach is out there explaining to them exactly what they need to do. If they don't get it in on the first play, they must bounce up off the line of scrimmage, get back into a formation, and be ready to go as soon as the referee puts the ball into play. If they have more than 10 seconds to go, they may choose to run another play. If it gets down to less than 10 seconds, I think the coach will go ahead and tell them to throw the ball out of bounds to set up the next play, which will be the final play of the game.
26 seconds to go. The Wildcats definitely don't need a penalty here as Fairs brings in the play and Douglas will come out.
Yeah, Douglas tried to get back in there, and that's illegal. Once he comes out on an injury, he has to stay out for at least 1 play.
First down, goal to go for Oak Ridge at the 2. Reggie Mormon, the senior center, comes up the line of scrimmage. Fairs and Wyatt Graham wide to the right side. The fullback, Stan Cooper. The tailback, John Elam. Jerry Colquitt at quarterback. First down, goal. Long count. He'll pitch it to the left. Elam! It's going to be short of the first down at the 1-yard line, and the clock is moving with 19 seconds to go. And let's see, now Oak Ridge will call their final timeout with 19 seconds to go. The line of scrimmage is right at the goal line. Elam had it close. He took a dive. He didn't come inside to the goal line. Good defense by Cleveland. And let's see, it'll be second down goal to go at the 1. And I believe Cleveland thinks Oak Ridge has called their 4th timeout, which they don't have.
Well, I don't know what the case is, but anyway, we thought they were out of timeouts, but the coaching staff is obviously more informed than we are, and the Cleveland coaches aren't really talking to the refs. They're talking to their players. Again, David, now that Oak Ridge has used a timeout that we didn't realize they had, it does set up a possibility to get 2 more plays off, possibly 3. If they don't score on this play, they will have an opportunity to line up and throw the ball out of bounds if they do it quickly. That will set up 1 more play. So conceivably, Oak Ridge could get it for the next 3 plays.
Andy, our statistician with the binoculars on, said less than a foot to go for Oak Ridge. 2nd down, goal to go, 19 seconds to go.
And of course, David, Oak Ridge is only down by 6. If they score the touchdown, they'll need Marlin to come in and kick the winning points.
19 seconds to go. Head coach Joe Gaddis trots off the field. His team has the play. They'll send Douglas wide to the right, Y.U. Graham wide to the left. 19 seconds to go. Colquitt wants the crowd. 2nd down, goal from the 1-yard line. He'll hand it off to Cooper. He'll struggle into the end zone. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Stan Cooper blasted at the middle part of the Cleveland line. Manages to scramble through, and Oak Ridge ties the game at 13.
Oh, David, it's just 2nd and 3rd effort. The Cleveland players feel like they stripped the ball from Cooper, but they did it after he broke the plane. Once he breaks the plane, there's no other play. Once he breaks the plane with the ball and they signal a touchdown, it's over. I believe they did come up with the ball, but it was too little too late, as now we have a timeout by somebody. It's going to be Cleveland. Let's keep it here, David.
13 seconds to go. Stan Cooper has 2 touchdowns, both of 1 yard. This one very, very important. 13-13. It looked as if Oak Ridge was going to lose. Cleveland driving for what would appear a touchdown. They fumbled the ball. Oak Ridge has come 97 yards for a touchdown. An extra point will decide if Oak Ridge will go 5-0 or will go to overtime for the 2nd time this season, the 2nd time in 2 years with Cleveland.
Well, David, they just got to snap it. Good hold, good snap, good execution, good follow-through. It's something they've done and relied on throughout the season. And I tell you what, there's some Cleveland people over there actually just stunned. And I hope that there's a lot of Oak Ridge fans that left about 5 minutes early that'll never do that again.
And so, Eric Marlin, the senior, he's had a great season all year long, will be in to attempt the point after. If he makes it, Oak Ridge wins. The same situation last year, 21-20, Cleveland won in overtime on a missed extra point by Oak Ridge. Marlin with a chance to give Oak Ridge the win.
Well, it'll give them the win, but more importantly, David, it'll give them the lead. It'll be about 10 seconds left to go in the ball game, and Cleveland does have some tremendous return men.
My fault. I was getting ahead of myself. 13 seconds to go, 13-13. Clifford Guthrie will hold. And here's the play. The ball's down. The kick is up. The kick is good! So it's penalty or score. Oak Ridge takes the lead over Cleveland by a score of 14-13 with 13 seconds to go in the game.
Mentally, David, what they have to do now is stay in their lanes. They have to stay in a contained defense. No time went off the clock, which is very unusual for that to happen. But at any rate, Cleveland will have possibly 1 play, maybe 2, after they return the ball. They may choose to fair catch the ball, which would let no time go off the clock. We'll see if Marlin decides whether to scrub it or to kick it deep. At any rate, David, they've got to have a big return here, or Oak Ridge has a W.
And so Marlin will be kicking off. Let's go back to that pass play from Jerry Colquitt to Bernard Douglas, setting up the touchdown.
Well, David, he just used so much poise. He used so much head. He just used, he was very wise in the way he chose to wait, and he threw the ball with a lot of force on it, and he got it way down there deep. But you got to credit Douglas. He went up there and got it.
Back to receive the kick for Cleveland will go Mike Moore. Eric Marlin will kick off. 13 seconds to go, 14-13 the score. And here's the kick by Marlin. It is a little line drive kick. It's going to bounce at the 20. Fielded by number 12, that'll be Davis. He works to the right side. Has some running room as he gets around the corner. Here comes Cooper, and he's going to go pushed out of bounds at the 20. 7 seconds to go in the ball game. 80 yards to go, but like Jim said, big play potential by these Cleveland backs. 1 play, 6 seconds to go on the clock.
Well, they scored the first play that had the ball during the ball game, David, so you know they're going to try to do something here. But I look for Oak Ridge to drop at least 3 people back about 25 yards off the line of scrimmage. And this could be a turning point for this ball club, David. They have an opportunity here. They've come back. They've been behind basically the whole ball game. and they've come back and they did it with style, and they did it with defense, making a big play for them once again.
Oak Ridge will drop back. Only 3 down linemen for Oak Ridge, and Weir will pass. 4 seconds to go. 3 seconds. Across the way, the man is there. The pass is incomplete. 1 second. The clock has expired. I believe there should be one, but no. The Oak Ridge team races onto the field. Oak Ridge has defeated Cleveland here at Blankenship Field by a final score of 14-13, and pandemonium on the field. It appeared to me that there should be still a second to go on the clock, but it ticked down. Cleveland not arguing. Oak Ridge, a 97-yard scoring drive to win the game, 14-13, and avenge a loss last year. And what a way to go 5-0. An exciting game for those of you who didn't come to the game and listened to it on the radio, and for those of you who left. Jim?
I don't have anything to say for them, David, but hopefully they did have the sense to tune us in, and we were able to bring the rest of the game to them. So, again, I think it's a situation of this ball club showing a lot of character. The man at the end zone, I'm not sure we can get it from Coach Gaddis if it was John Spratling or not, that indeed did strip the ball. But at any rate, he could have just as easily made a half-hearted attempt to tackle that young man and had him gone into the end zone, and Oak Ridge is a loser, and it looks like they lost big. It would have been 21, or excuse me, it would have been, yeah, about 20-7. At any rate, the boy does strip the ball from the man, and Oak Ridge is right there to recover it, and they come down the field throwing the ball all the way. I think this may show Oak Ridge later on in the year opening up that offense even more and making teams defend the pass first, perhaps.
Jerry Colquitt came into the game with a stress fracture in his left foot. He didn't practice at all during the week. That last drive, a beautiful way to work the ball down the field. Just an excellent job by the junior quarterback.
Well, as Andy told us, with about 3 minutes to go in the game, Oak Ridge had 30 yards in total offense in the second half. Obviously, with the 97-yard drive, they go over 100 yards. They did a little bit, we have to say, by the big third down penalty that went against Cleveland on interference on Caldwell, when it looked like that Caldwell was not going to catch the ball. And indeed, I don't think he could have caught it, but the Cleveland player did strap onto him before the play came. It was a good call by the officials and a proper call. But Oak Ridge, the benefit of the breaks. But again, David, it's what you do with the breaks that count.
And our final score once again, the Oak Ridge Wildcats defeat Cleveland here at Blankenship Field to go 5-0 on the regular season, and will face Halls next week. The final score, Oak Ridge 14 and Cleveland 13. Let's catch our breath. We'll send it back to the station for this 90-second timeout.